Good morning, everybody. All right, it is 10 o'clock on the last Friday of the month, so I think it's time to kick off Town Hall. Um, I'm feeling a little lonely on the leadership team today. We've got lots of people out of the office today, and I'm going to be stepping in for Ricky and kind of kicking things off for you and giving you a rundown of all the good things that are coming up for April. I'm Kelly Sire. I'm the Director of Marketing. I am no Ricky Stamps. There is no one who can replace Ricky Stamps, but I'm going to do my best. So I'm going to go through a number of different really great things that are planned for all of you on the April calendar. We're running a little bit long on the printing this time, but most of you who receive that through email should have already gotten a copy of your April calendar, so you can kind of start plotting what it is that you want to get. That should have come through email. But the printed version, I hope, is going to arrive today, and if it does, we will run quickly to get them in everybody's boxes, so you'll have that copy very soon. But to get things started, first of all, one thing we want to make sure you're aware of, on April the 2nd is a seminar, senior seminar, called Avoiding Scams and Identity Theft. I know this is something we all worry about, and unfortunately, the demographic here at Butterfield has kind of got a target on it as far as scams. So we wanted to make sure that you're aware of this really great program that's going to be taking place on April the 2nd. That is next Wednesday. If you wish to attend that program, you do have to sign up for it. You have to pre-register for it. So make sure that you stop by and get your name on the list so that we make sure that you're able to attend. That will be next Wednesday, and the program is actually led by the Washington County Sheriff's Department, so very credible source of information. They will talk about how to spot red flags when you get communication that may be something you're not quite sure about. It will help you to learn more about how to protect your personal and financial information, so certainly something that could be very, very helpful to everyone. So make sure that you do get signed up for that. That will be taking place in the Arvest Ballpark Community Room, which is a great space. So it's really nice that they've made that available for us. This summer, Ricky has got a new thing planned for everybody. She's calling it Specialty Shop Stop. There are lots of really neat, unique, independent little boutiques and businesses around Northwest Arkansas, and Ricky thought that it would be fun if we started highlighting some of those. So we'll be doing twice a month outings to some of these little specialty shops. The first one is going to be next Friday, April the 4th. This one is at the Onyx Coffee Lab in downtown Rogers. If you have not been there, you need to go. It is beautiful. It is not just a coffee shop. The architecture is beautiful. It's just this wonderfully inviting location, and I think it would be well worth your time to make a visit to that one. They also have an in-house bakery that I hear is really exceptional. Then on the 18th will be the second one for April, and she'll be taking a group to the Zelli Pasta Store in downtown Springdale. This is a little independently owned couple that have started this pasta shop, and now if you're shopping around in Northwest Arkansas, you're probably starting to see Zelli pasta boxes in different places, and their products are excellent. So this will be a fun way for us to get over there and help support this young family that has started this project. On the evening of April the 10th, we have a very special concert coming to our stage. Chris and Sarah Jones, a young couple, will be coming here to perform. This couple has been all over the country performing just incredible Broadway, show tunes, all types of music, tons of stage experience. And as I understand it, Sarah even had the title role at Disney World of The Little Mermaid. So she's incredibly talented. You can imagine what kind of skill is involved for being able to land a role like that. So they will be here to perform all kinds of show tunes. I think the name of the show is actually Our Life in Show Tunes. And they will also share some stories about their experiences and what they've done over the course of their careers. They've been from Florida to Broadway. So this will be a real treat for us. How many of you all had an opportunity to stop in and see the bookmobile from the Fayetteville Public Library? Did you all see that? So we had our first visit this month, and it was very successful. It was really neat. They just wheeled out a bunch of rolling carts of books, and everybody was able to come check it out, literally. And we're going to have them back again in April. So if you would like to pick up a new read, Friday, April the 11th, the bookmobile will be back, and there will be some staff members here from the Fayetteville Public Library to assist you. We will be visiting the Jones Center 2 times in April for very different things. This is pretty exciting, actually. The Jones Center has been working to expand their programming to offer some things that people don't necessarily think of as happening at the Jones Center. And one thing that has been really successful in the last several months has been a comedy series. Now, Jones Center for Families, you think there's lots of families coming, so the comedy is very appropriate. It is clean comedy, but they are bringing in people who have national level recognition in comedy. So really, really good stuff. So we are going to be taking a bus of folks to go see a comedy show called Shiny Happy People Laughing. It's a comedian named Karen Morgan. She is from Athens, Georgia. And she specializes in clean humor that has a bit of a nostalgic spin. So some of the things that she talks about are things that will resonate with us, either growing up or raising kids during a little bit earlier era than what life is like today. And talking about crazy things that we did that somehow we still managed to survive them. So she's finding the humor in that. If you do wish to go to that comedy show, you will need to purchase the tickets ahead of time. And that's really easy. You just go to the Jones Center website and you can purchase tickets online there. If you need some help with that, let us know. But I think this will be a show you'll really, really enjoy. Then we'll be going back to the Jones Center on the 21st for an AARP driving course. I don't think you're actually physically driving. I think this is like a classroom experience. But the nice thing about this is if you take this course and you complete it, then you can turn that certification into your insurance company and potentially save a little bit of money on your auto insurance. So nice incentive to do this. Then we also have another installment of our resident lecture series, and in April, I'm excited to tell you that we'll be having Susan Riggs come and talk about her experiences with genealogy. She is quite an expert and has really over the years learned so much about genealogy, has made some very interesting discoveries about her own family, and she has even helped people find their biological parents. So her skills are pretty amazing, and so she's going to be talking about what that's been like, and I know you'll enjoy that. Susan is a very interesting speaker, and she's actually even taught some genealogy classes with Ollie, so you know she's very capable. And then Ricky says, as David Bowie said, put on your red shoes and dance the blues. On April the 17th, it's going to be a busy day. It's going to be time to boogie to the sounds of a local band called the Pushpins. She says that the big bands are usually in bed by 7 o'clock, but the Pushpins are going to be here from 6 to 8. So they'll be playing tunes from the 50s, 60s, a little bit from the 1970s, and it's going to be a really upbeat, fun time. So, you know, come out and bring some energy and enjoy this band that I don't think that we've seen here before at Butterfield, so it'll be a fun evening. Now moving on from programming, if any of you all were part of the group on during the last week of February that had headshots taken, your portraits, those have all been edited, and we are going to have those viewed, available for you to view on Thursday the 3rd. What we're going to do, and I don't know if Nathan even knows this yet, but Ricky is going to have Nathan set up here in the performance hall with a laptop. If you had your picture taken, just drop by. He'll be able to pull it up for you and show you the different images. You can choose which one you want to be in the directory. If you would like copies of those, you can either bring him a little jump drive, or he can email them to you, and you can have those digital copies. He will be here set up from 10 to noon, and then again from 2 to 5. We will send a reminder. Everybody who did have your pictures made will have a reminder that will go out by email. I think Alice is going to send that next week. Now, if there's others of you that have had your pictures made in the past, prior to that particular group, and you want copies of those, you can still drop by at the same time. He will have access to anybody's photos during that time, so we're happy to do that for you. Let's see. Since we're missing Jennifer, she's taken the day off to prepare for her big adventure with our hiking group that is headed out to Spain, the second round of our Camino de Santiago hikers, which is just amazing, the distance that they're going to go. But I wanted to make sure that you all know that our interns, our wonderful fitness interns, have designed some special classes. So even though the class schedules will be a little bit different than what you're used to with Jennifer, they're going to be here to do some, let's see, there's one called Get Fit that is just upbeat music, and it's kind of similar to the Get Fit with Jennifer class. Those are going to meet from 10:30 to 11. And there's several days ranging from the 31st, which is this coming Monday, through the 16th. So there's that one. There's also a strength training circuit, which I know many of y'all enjoy that class. And so they'll do the interval training. That one will take place from 11:30 to noon. So those classes are pretty close to back. We'll make sure that this is up and around so that you're able to spot it if you do wish to attend. And this has also gone out through Telegram, and you should have also received an email for this one as well from our newsletter distribution. So show the interns a little love. They've really worked hard to try to fill this gap while we're missing our Jennifer. I think that's it for those two topics. I would like to bring John Washington up. He's got some information to share with you regarding our housekeeping program. So, John?
Good morning, everyone. So, to start off, I think it was March 14th, I've reached 2 years here. Finally. So it feels like I just started the other day, and I've gotten to know everyone, and I'm still as appreciative as the first day I started. So thank you all for having me here. Also, I'd like to congratulate Krista Ivy for stepping up. So Krista started here a little over 3 years ago, and Krista was in the laundry room. She was doing most of the tasks before she ever had the role, and now we've got the opportunity to turn her into a lead, and she's doing a phenomenal job. And without her helping me right now, 90% of what's going on we would not have been able to have accomplished without her. So if you guys can give her a round of applause, that'd be really awesome. And in saying that, a couple of days ago, we put out a memo for changes that we finally got approved for our housekeeping department. And there were a lot of concerns with some of the cleaning that was done in the apartments and the cottages and the village homes. And Krista had some great ideas that she put together, and most of it was her. So I'm really appreciative of her helping out with this, because without her, I could not have got it accomplished. And going forward, just like in any other facility for housekeeping purposes, we are going to clean. We're going to do a full 100% clean inside of your units. So that's dusting from top to bottom. You also, now the patio doors will be cleaned inside and outside. Everything we were doing on spring cleaning, we'll be doing on a bi-weekly basis when we come into your units. The only thing we'll be doing twice a year, which will be in January and I think it's January and July, is moving your refrigerator and your stove and cleaning behind those. That is the only thing that is mandatory as far as us coming in, and it will be conducted by a Butterfield staff member, so there won't be any outside entities coming in. So that's the only thing we can't cancel, because we have to get into every unit, and we have a short window of time that we're going to be able to complete this, and me and Krista are also going to jump in just to make sure that we can complete it in that time. So we just ask that everyone bear with us in this with this change, because it's going to be the first time it happens, so there will be some hiccups, and we'll work through them. As far as the cleaning structure goes, for your biweekly cleaning, you can cancel that if you don't want someone in your unit when you're not there. The only thing is, if you do cancel, then you'll be you won't get clean until the next cleaning cycle. So we just ask that, since it's only one time every other week, if you can just help us plan accordingly. One more thing I got, and then I'll open it up for some questions. When Krista put this structure together, this was the first time she's actually dealt with Word and Excel. And there are a couple of typos in here, and we understand that. But given the fact that she had no prior experience with doing any of this, and I was stretched thin between two departments, and I couldn't really help her out a lot, she did a phenomenal job. So I just want to also show her some appreciation for that as well. That's pretty much everything I have. I know you have 1,000 questions. I answered probably 10 of those, and then we'll let everyone get. So, yes, ma'am. So the question was, for her particular apartment, she says she's listed for 2 days, and she's trying to figure out what those particular 2 days are. I'm going to let Krista
Is that 350?
step up and answer this one. Here, come
Is
up,
that
Krista.
355? Oh, 367. Haha. You're gonna be extra clean. No, just kidding. We will fix that. That, like I said, there's a
So-
lot
so
of
the-
these
so-
little hiccups like this in here, and we'll take care of that. It will be Wednesday.
I also want to mention that although we put 5 here, and then there are 6 apartments that some of the housekeepers are cleaning, we want to keep in mind that some of the units are smaller than others, and when we base this time frame off of the biggest unit. So there is more than enough time that each housekeeper is going to have to give a thorough cleaning. And like we said, there will be some hiccups in the beginning, and we'll work through those to get those ironed out. Also, keep in mind that in a regular facility, like we've done some researches, and in regular facilities, a lot of the housekeepers are doing double of what our housekeepers are doing. Now, their units are, ranked sometimes a little smaller than ours, but we've adjusted this for our calculated based upon the biggest unit that we have. So I don't foresee anyone being missed. I don't foresee anyone not getting 100% of what they need cleaned. And if there is a problem, then we will be able to sit down with Mr. Permy and Kim Moore to see if there is a need to get additional housekeepers in. But what we want to make sure that we're doing is not, we want to make sure that we're allowing enough time for the housekeepers to clean everything. And I'm overconfident that there is enough time for each housekeeper to clean 6 units a day. Although some on here you'll see are 5, but there is a significant amount of time for them to get to all of the units. Yes, ma'am. That's a great question. So the question was on the window washing, when will that take place? So now that we have the housekeepers cleaning, all of the inside windows and then the outside of the patio windows. This year, because we're starting so late into the second quarter already, going into the second quarter, I've only been given approval to do one cleaning for the outside windows. So there's a company that's going to come in, and it'll probably be next month, at the end of next month, but I've been given the approval for the second quarter for them to come in and do all of the window cleanings. That's the only thing that'll be done with an outside entity. I am in talks with Mr. Permy and with Kim Moore and Kevin with doing this twice a year going forward. So once in the wintertime maybe, and then once in the summertime, we'll clean. And I know that there's a concern that the third floor has never been cleaned, or the frequency's been off. But going forward, the company that's doing the cleaning is going to have a boom lift, so that way they can get up to these third floor windows and make sure that we're getting those cleaned as well. I'm also in discussions with that company about cleaning the screens, because I know that's also a concern of the residents, to have the screens cleaned as well. So I hope that, I'm sorry. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. So the blinds are a dusting. They will dust the blinds off, and they're going to clean inside of the windows. And what we'll see, what will happen once, the first time is going to always be the most difficult, right? But as they do this routinely, it'll get faster, because it won't require as significant of a clean as that first time. So, in the back, please. That would be very helpful. Yes, it will. And the question was, should we remove anything that's impeding access to the windows or the blinds? And as far as your countertops, to add to that, as far as countertops, desks, dressers, or whatever have you, the more you can move out of the way for the housekeeper, the more efficient the dusting process can be when they get to your unit. Yes, ma'am. Great question. So the question is, given the fact that most residents, me either, don't like getting up at 8 a.m., what's going to be the cleaning schedule or the start time, all right, with the cleanings. So one of the responsibility for the staff member that has each floor is to take care of everything on that floor. So that means all common areas and all units inside of the apartments. When they start at 8 a.m., the first thing they do is attack the common areas. We won't be entering any residents' homes until 9 a.m. So I know there are a couple of residents who want an earlier entrance, but because for the majority doesn't want anyone in there before 9 a.m., we won't be starting at 9 a.m. So they'll do common areas first, and then they'll at 9 a.m. start to get into residents. And if you can give me a second, Krista wanted to add something with the.
This is what I was trying to tell them with the windows and certain little things, if there's something that they didn't want them to do.
Yes. So Chris is also creating a list of what the housekeepers are going to need to clean when they're in the unit, and they have to check off that they've completed each of those items. If a resident doesn't want a specific item touched or cleaned, all you have to do is sign next to that, or signature next to that specific item, so that way we know that you told the housekeeper not to clean it, and it's not that the housekeeper just missed it. So I hope that helps as well. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Will they be time-wise, will we have a time, or will they be going in order they're listed here? And then we're not sure what time they'll come?
No more.
So the question is referring to the timeline of the housekeepers. So we're doing away with timeframes. I can't give you an exact until the housekeepers actually go through that first run. But you'll be able, after this first run, you'll be able to get a window, a pretty decent window of when the housekeeper is going to be at your unit. And we don't perceive them in any unit over an hour, as far as the apartments go. Obviously, village homes and cottages are a lot bigger, so, and the village homes and the cottages aren't going to be affected that much with the change because there's less of those, and the housekeepers, they already have a limited amount that they're doing. And so what happens is with the village homes and the cottages, when they finish those, they usually come over and help us in the main building. But now that we're going to have the main building taken care of, it'll give the cottage, and village home housekeepers time enough to make sure that they're hitting everything that needs to be hit in your units as well. Yes, ma'am.
First of all, thank you for making these changes. I look forward to it, and it sounds good. One thing that I didn't hear mentioned that we appreciated in the annual spring cleaning was that we could take things off the top of our bookshelves, and then the spring cleaners would use their long things that they use to do
The wands.
fans, they would do the tops of the bookshelves.
Those are going to be done on it. So like, once again, and the question was, some of the things that the spring cleaners did, the residents appreciate, because it was items that weren't hit on a regular basis with our regular housekeepers. So now going forward, if with your help, if you take these things down or you prepare them, the housekeeper's job is to attack all clear surfaces. So we want to make sure that you're getting a sufficient cleaning each time a housekeeper comes to your unit.
So that doesn't need to be done all the time, but if we take them down sometime, the housekeepers can do that.
Absolutely.
And I have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the procedure for getting carpets cleaned? It used to be to tell the head of housekeeping and then she would have a floater come sometime.
That's going to be the same procedure. So the question was with carpet cleaning. Right now, it's on an as-needed basis. So if you call, if you give us a call, is it us or is it?
Us.
Okay, so yeah, if you give a call, we'll add you to a list, and then we, as needed, we'll make sure that we're keeping the carpets conditioned for you. Yes, ma'am.
Since she's gonna be doing a whole lot more work, is she gonna be staying longer?
The question is, since the housekeepers are going to be doing more, are they going to stay longer? Simple answer is yes. So they will. They'll be there longer, and I think in the beginning they're going to be there for this first time. They're going to be there the longest because they're becoming accustomed to this new cleaning cycle. But I want to assure you, I personally went into a couple of units and did this thorough cleaning myself, just to get a time study to see how long it actually takes instead of taking someone's word for it. And with doing everything that we have on this list, it only took me an additional 10 minutes. I want to bring up something else that's very important, and this is where the residents can help us out the most. I know that these housekeepers are like an extension of your family, and we appreciate that. But we also want to keep in mind that they have a time schedule that they need to stick to. So when we want them to keep the conversations or the other things they're doing other than cleaning to as minimal as possible. So that way they can be efficient, get inside of the units, and then get to the next unit. So that way we make sure that we're hitting all of our residents' units in a timely manner.
Lots of windows and lots of Venetian blinds.
Yes, ma'am. So once again, so the question was, because she's in a village home and they have lots of windows, she's concerned with how long it's going to take for them to do this. Once again, with the village homes and the cottages, we do know that those are bigger units, but there are less of those units, and not all of the housekeepers are there. So we allow more time for the housekeepers to clean those areas. And if it does take them longer, we're complete. So where we're going to need your patience is it may be 30 minutes sometimes, or 15 or 20 minutes that the housekeeper is getting to you later because she's at one of the other units. But like I said, 90%, and I've gone over all the schedules with Krista, and 90% of the time, the housekeepers are finished at like 2 or 2:30 with all of the cottages and village homes, and then we bring them into the main building to help. But they won't have to do that anymore. And the initial cleaning is going to be the most extensive one. Once they've completed that as they go on, it's not going to require as much as it does. And if you notice that, hey, this doesn't need to be cleaned today because it looks good, you just tell the housekeeper, let her mark it off, she can move on.
She will have that on her cart. She will have a list, and it'll be a laminated
come a little
list.
closer.
Sorry. She will have a list on her cart, and it will be a laminated list, and it's like a checklist that she knows. To make sure she can keep up with what she's doing. And then anything you don't want her to do, you can just check that on her list, and she brings that to me at the end of every day. Yes. And that will
So
the village homes and cottages are staying pretty much the same. Because it's still Lisa, and the same timing is all going to be the same. So it shouldn't be much more of a change for you guys, except for that little bit of extra time to do the extra stuff. The timing should all stay around the same, except for a few minutes.
in the back. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll tell him if you want me to.
Yeah. Okay, so the question is if we can elaborate on the floater, and I'm going to let Krista explain that one.
Okay, the floater is actually the flex position, and the reason it's called a flex position is because she's going to do several different things in the building. She will do 4 units on each floor, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then I have her doing village homes and cottages. Those are the extra ones that aren't done. That's the only reason she's called a flex. I understand it might put a little confusion because then in the past, our flex positions have been passed over, or it's been random person. No, this time it's the same person. It's just that she's in different places in the building. Okay. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, let me get him real quick. I'm sorry. Yes, sir. So the question is if we can give a definite time on the first time. I would love to do that, but once again, we're running this first one is going to be our test run. So we're going to start from the first unit and work our way down. We just ask that once again that you bear with us because this is a brand new system that we're rolling out, and like I said, there'll be some hiccups. But if you can just give us this first week, we should be able to get you within a certain, like within a 15 to 20 minute window. So the first,
On your list.
on your list, whichever the first unit, and that unit's gonna be, that unit starts at 9 a.m. And then they proceed from there.
Okay.
Right here, sorry. No, it's okay.
That's what we're here for.
What I've always wondered about is the standard bed making service. Does that mean changing sheets, stripping the bed, putting on?
So I'll let, 'cause so the question is in regards to the standard bed making service. I'll let Krista,
Yes, you change the sheets. Yes, it will be change out the sheets, because mind you, you're cleaned every 2 weeks. So yes, we will change out the sheets for you. The standard bed making thing was, they're just taught one way to make them, and that's how they'll be made. The special request, like, oh, I want 6 inches down or 2 inches from, that's what we're talking about, special request. Mhm. Yes. Yes, yes, ma'am. That bed is no different than any other bed. Your sheet needs to be changed all the way around, so yes, ma'am.
okay, we're gonna do 3 more questions, okay? In the corner. So, that's a great question. So, as far as holidays go, the question is, what about holidays? I work holidays, Mr. Permy works holidays, Krista works holidays. I feel like we shouldn't change just because of a holiday. Holiday is still still a day, and we are what with the
We have to follow policy
yes.
when it comes to holidays.
So there will be cleaners here on the holidays, if it's your day,
Wait a minute.
unless we've changed something.
You have to follow the policy on our holidays, so we have to get with Cheryl and know.
Oh, well, then let me get back to you on that one, but we'll get, I apologize, we'll get a concrete answer back to you on that one. But if it's up to me,
I say the same thing.
I feel like we shouldn't, but, I've got bosses that I have to answer to.
Right, right.
Yes. Let me get some clarification on that one, and then I'll have Patricia send out a memo, or send a email out, once I get that, clarification for you.
Maybe you could think outside of the box a little bit on holidays. I happened to be on Wednesday this last year. I'm on Wednesday, and Christmas and New Year's was on Wednesday.
Right,
And no one cleaned on those days in the houses.
right.
But I really don't want someone to have to come on Christmas Day and clean the house if so maybe there could be communication with whoever cleans your house and things worked out when we get clean.
So the question is in regards to the communication for holidays. So I'll get some concrete information on that, and then we'll get that information back to you all, okay?
Someone had to come clean my house, and it's Christmas Day, and they're cleaning my house instead of being with their family.
Right, we understand.
Yes, ma'am. Last question, okay? Okay. Cottage 100, sorry.
Cottage 101, she's on that's in north. You got cleaned this week? You just got cleaned on Monday? Okay.
Here, go ahead.
It's going to be bi-weekly from that. We do a north week and a south week, and you're on the north week, and that's not gonna change because we have to stay with the schedule here, so it falls right. And yes, since you got cleaned this week, it'll be 2 weeks from now, and then you'll be cleaned. Monday. Monday.
Our first cleaning was
She won't be clean for 2 weeks. Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's going to be the last question we take, but please, my number is inside of the residence handbook, also my email address. If you have any questions or concern, you also know where my office is. Please get with me. I want to make sure that all of your questions and your concerns are answered. I'll stick around in the back a little bit so that way, but I don't want to hold everyone else up, okay? But once again, we appreciate all of you. And we look forward to this on Monday, going off with the hit. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. You're a popular guy today. All right, well, those are the only things we have to go over with you all today. So between now and our next town hall, we just wish everyone a beautiful, happy Easter and the coming of spring. And go forth and be well. Take care.